Hi guys, and welcome back to LPB Racing. We are on GT Sport for the Reverse Grid Championship. This should have been last week's race, but it was run this week because of PSN issues. PSN was down last week. So we're in the Mini Coopers at Willow Springs, getting ready for a start. It's the Streets of Willow circuit. So we're looking nearer the back of the grid for the start. Getting ready for the lights to go out. Oh, Keith's made a jump start again. Keith jumped the start again. Now on, Footman's not moving. Footman's not moving everyone else away well. I think there's another car that stood still as well. I think, oh, it's Neil Farmack. Neil Farmack stood still. So again, the glitch online takes another two victims. So Gran Turismo, please sort out your servers. As we go into the first corner, everyone else away well. TY in the lead from Bidzster. Cyrex, Jammo up the inside of Seek 1. Into turn 1. You get an atmospheric view there of the second corner, of which Seat 1 is getting attacked by Task 1, but no way through there. Nick Hash coming up from the back. He had a grid penalty from the last race for making contact with a few people. As Osiris gets a penalty there, and Jammo runs into the back of him. So everyone else through more or less cleanly as TY leads from Bidzster. Then everyone else trying to be third. Cyrex up the inside of Seek and Jammo up the inside of Task. Makes it stick. Good move there by Jammo. As we get in onto the straight, everyone in the draft of each other. Not that there's much draft in these minis, but it's still, you get a little bit. Every little counts. As we come down towards the next corner, and oh, Seek 1's outbraked himself. Bang! Hits the back of Cyrex, takes him completely off. He's waiting for Cyrex, but that shouldn't have really happened there. He should have read that a lot better than that. Seek 1 making a mistake and taking Cyrex off. Probably both cars with damage as well. You can see the damage on the front of Seek's car. And where's Cyrex? There he is. There's Cyrex, and yeah, he's running to the pits. He's got damage because mechanical damage is now turned on in this championship. Footman's still stuck on the grid, so Neil and Footman again suffering to the glitch, and Keith got stuck behind Footman at the start because he did a jump start, so not helped his race at all. Liliam and Mr. Slow One side by side now into turn 1 for 7th place. Liliam round the outside. Oh, Mr. Slow One up on the curb. Danny Quaver's on the sand as well, so Danny Quaver makes a mistake there as well into the next corner, into turn 3. Round here, and then it's into this beautiful complex section. It's a really hard section. This corner here, you can get a track limits penalty for even just going to the inside line and near the white line. So Gran Turismo, again, please sort out the servers online and also sort out the track penalties. Some of them are ridiculous. As we go round here onto the oval onto the little oval bit, the little bank corner. Danny Quaver under pressure from Liliam. Liliam having a look round. Seek 1 having a look at the inside of Mr. Sloan and gets through there as well. Meanwhile, just quickly check back with the leaders. TY and Bidzster. Bidzster all over the back of TY now, pushing him to hell. Nick Hash in 5th place. There's Danny Quaver under attack from Liliam. And Mr. Sloan and Seek 1 side by side in the background. There they go. Into the corner, and they've got through there fine. You can see Task 1 and Nick Hash going through a camera shot there as Danny Quaver. Oh, Danny Quaver runs wide, runs very wide. God, I never thought of, left an acre. I'm trying to get the words out. Left about an acre of track there, and now he's opened the door for Seat 1 as well. So Danny Quaver going backwards here. So, and also welcome back to Danny Quaver. So Danny Quaver back. He was in previous leagues with us, and now he's joined us in LPB Racing. So good to see Danny there as he kicks up the sand with Seat 1 all over the back of him. Seat 1 goes to the inside. Danny Quaver can't defend in time. Seat 1 up the inside and goes through. Danny Quaver trying to get rid of a little penalty that he's got there. If you see a car ghost, they're just trying to get rid of a track limit penalty. As we watch Seat 1 go through there, Liliam. There's Nick Hash. Let's check back with the leaders. Bidzster's in front now. Bidzster's past TY. So Bidzster's in front of TY now, so Bidzster with the upper hand at the minute. TY trying to stay with him. Jammo trying to keep up with them lot. Task 1 there following suit. There's Nick Hash, Liliam, Seek 1, Danny Quaver, Mr. Slow One in that order. Cyrex a bit further back after getting damaged. Rodas there as well, and Keith further back after getting stuck behind a car on the grid. So Keith there in 12th place, unfortunately. As we look at Bidzster and TY, the main battle on track at the minute. Everyone else a bit more spread. But you can always guarantee when Bidzster and TY are together that it's going to be a good battle as we come out of the last corner across the line. Lap 4 of 14 now. TY fastest lap so far, 1:22.5 on the second lap, but they're barely getting warmed up. As we go into the first corner, Bidzster cutting back to the inside again, taking a very touring car-esque line, as you see the guy with the checkered flag there ready and waiting, but he's got a long wait ahead of him, as we've got a good 10 laps left in this race still, as we watch Bidzster and TY coming through that section. Oh, TY a bit wider there, but then flicks the car to the other side, a bit wide again, so not going to catch Bidzster doing them kind of lines. As we look back at Jamo, there's Nick Hash to see if there's any other battles on track at the minute. I don't think we have at the minute. No, Cyrex is closing to Mr. Slow One, so that could be one to watch at some point as well. In fact, we'll keep an eye on this. Cyrex is right behind Mr. Slow One now. Mr. Slow with the number 27, red and green, a little nice little silhouette on the side as well. Oh, and around the outside goes Cyrex. Mr. Slow One tries to keep with him, but no, Cyrex has got it done around the outside, carries the overspeed and gets past Mr. Slow One up to 9th place. As we look back at the leaders now, there's Bidzster with TY right behind. You can see the avatars inside working the wheel away as they go across the line. Bidzster from TY. There's Jamo in 3rd place. He's not too far behind, so one major mistake by them two and he'll be straight through. Task One there in 4th. Nick Hash 5th, and you can see everyone else there in line. There we are, Task Nick, Liliam, and Seek One further back after that contact on lap 1 with Cyrex. So again, probably carrying damage as we go through the complex section. Bidzster still in. Oh, misses the apex there, got an oversteer. You see how he took 2 bites at the cherry there. Just turned in and the car didn't want to turn. The car turned in too much. Sorry, the car turned in too much. That's oversteer, and understeer is when you turn the car and the car doesn't turn at all, doesn't want to go into the corner. But you can see now TY visually closer in that white Mini in the draft now. Coming down towards this lovely little section down here, but it's the devil if you get it wrong. Bidzster defends, TY goes the other way. They're not going to go side by side through here, surely, but they are. Bidzster defends the inside for his life. Again, Bidzster, one of the hardest people to pass in LPB racing. But again, TY, one of the most ruthless competitors. If anyone can find a way past, TY can. As we go around that last corner, Bidzster runs a tiny bit wide there, but gets away with it. TY back in the draft as we cross the line. Almost an 8-wheeled Mini going across the line, running that close together. It's practically one car into the first little kink and then into the second corner. This braking point is very crucial. If you get it wrong, see you cocking the rear right wheel there as he under brakes. Running the cars that stiff on the suspension in this, because the default setup, the car would just roll in the corners because it's that soft. But these guys got these cars really, really well nailed with the setups now. Bidzster defending the inside, fantastic stuff. TY going for a cutback, but no way through there. Bidzster just parks the car on the apex, exactly what he needs to do. No way through there, flying the Union Jack as Bidzster does. TY in the white colours this season, the 00 of TY. Definitely a Dick Dastardly looking for a way through. As we go out of that bank curve, getting the draft, trying to see if he can find a way through, but again, all Bidzster needs to do is cover that inside. But TY looks like he's not really got the upper end speed on Bidzster. Bidzster's definitely got a bit more of a top end car. But TY's really good in these sections. As we go into this section, see Bidzster will shove them with the understeer there. As we go through, tyre wear is on ×2 as it is for all the championship races this season, apart from the GRB cars that we'll do later in the season. The damage is off, the tyres off for them, as TY gives him a little nudge to encourage as Bidzster makes a mistake. So TY goes to the outside, but again, there'll not be any way through here because the next little kink here, right-hander, he'll be able to keep the momentum and keep to the inside, turn the car in hard. You see TY using got a lot more camber on his car than Bidzster has here. As we go into this next left, Bidzster running a bit wide there, but TY catching up, trying to find a way through. No way through there. Bidzster, again, all you need to do in this Willow Springs circuit is sit on the line and you can more or less keep your position. But it's going to be very hard for TY to find a way through. It's going to have to be in a braking zone, or he's just going to have to out-trump Bidzster into one of these corners. So Bidzster in the lead, number 22, number 00. Second place, TY right behind him. Again, practically pushing him, making it an 8-wheeled Mini. We've got a little battle further back, but we'll have a look at that in a second as when we've come down to this next section with these two. Bidzster and TY, again, really close, coming down towards this next corner. Bidzster will go to the inside to defend. No, he doesn't this time, actually. He feels as though he doesn't have to. So round that corner, everything okay there. As you can see, a few cars close in the background. We'll have a look at that in a minute. So as they come onto the straight, nose to tail, no really much to gain there as TY comes out behind Bidzster there. So we'll have a look. Oh, Nick Hash has gone off the road. He's gone wide. Or is he, I didn't know if there was contact there. We'll get a replay. Here's a replay on board with Lillian to what happened to Nick Hash. He goes wide there and then he's compromised his line into here, goes across the gravel, then runs completely wide and loses 2 places. But yeah, task 1 in 4th place now from Lillian, from Nick Hash. So the 3 Belgians running line astern there. Seat 1 behind, so making it 4. As they've got Cyrex in 8th place, Danny Quaver 9th, Mr. Slow 1 10th, Rodas 11th and Keith in 12th. But as we go back to the leaders, Bidzster still in front of TY doing everything he can. That rear right wheel not staying on the ground at all as he's throwing that car into the corners. Much more of a touring car-esque driving style from Bidzster. TY the more smoother GT route for him. But both driving styles seem to be suiting this Mini as they come out of that bank curve down towards the next one. TY has a little lookout to try and overtake, but Bidzster keeps to the inside. We're going to run side by side down into here now. How brave you feeling, boys? As Bidzster goes onto the brakes into the corner. TY a bit further behind, but no. Bidzster keeps hold of the place for now, but all it takes is one mistake. TY has looked to the right hand side, but no way through there. Practically 1 car at a time through that last corner section. You've got to get it done at the end of that straight. Oh, Bidzster runs a bit wide. TY's pushing him round again, saying, come on, Bidzster, get on with it. I've got much more pace than you. With Bidzster saying, I don't care about the pace, I'm just going to keep you behind. That's all I need to do. As we come to the first kink. Again, Bidzster will defend the inside just a little bit, just to stop TY from going on the inside, and then stay to that side. So TY to go to the outside again, just driving the defensive race, doing everything he needs to do. As TY tries to go around the outside now, carrying the momentum, but oh, Bidzster chops in front, says no you don't, sunshine, you're not going around that way. As TY has looked for the cutback again, but again, you've really got to get alongside. You can't just rely on the back quarter being side by side. You've got to really get alongside in these cars in this track. As TY were thinking about it then as they go into the bank curve. Bidzster hugging a bit more of an inside line. They'll be slower out, but TY will get a good run probably through here. Yeah, I think he does. We'll just break away from that a second as Jamo's in 3rd, Lillian 4th. So, and Nick Hash 5th. Task has gone backwards, so Task 1's gone off there. So I don't know whether there's contact there, so we'll get a replay on that. Here's a replay of something that happened on lap 8. So we're watching Nick Hash going on that corner, goes, brakes, and then Task 1 has nowhere to go. I don't know why you get rid of a penalty or even brake test someone there, but that was definitely not on by Nick Hash. As we look at it now from Nick Hash, but with the telemetry on, so we can see what he does, see the power on the brake. So he goes onto the brakes into this corner, and then all of a sudden decides to brake even more, fully on the brakes, and then Task 1 has nowhere to go but right into the back of him, which then if you look at Task 1's car, look at the diagram at the bottom left, it's got the damage on, so that was not on by Nick Hash at all. But there's Jamo and Lillian running fairly close together now, so Lillian catching up. Meanwhile, Bidzster and TY still running a 8-wheeled Mini up the front. Again, TY cannot find a way through. Bidzster's really doing well in this defensive race, not leaving any room for TY to even have a sniff of a look. So Bidzster doing all he can, TY trying everything in the book to try and get past, but nothing's working so far. As again, Bidzster cocking that rear right wheel, getting that turn in. Task 1 and Cyrex a bit close in the background as well. As we'll just quickly have a look to that. As it was Nick Hash and Seek, and then we've got Cyrex and Task. So Cyrex 7th place. As we've got Nick Hash having a look up the inside of Seat 1 there, but no way through there. So again, not much between them. All it takes is one major mistake, and Nick Hash made a bit of a mistake there, so Seek will probably gain him a couple of tenths on that. Meanwhile, back at the front, Bidzster still in front of TY, no way through yet. As we come down the straight, down towards this lovely last section of track, It's not the best to overtake on, but it's a lovely section of track nonetheless in these front-wheel drive minis. Beautiful cars, one of the best cars of its decade. As we go into the last corner, if you want a car that handles well, get a Mini. As we go into this last corner, TY still close, but no cigar yet. It's TY, he goes to the outside. Bidzster obviously didn't get as much of a run through that as we thought, so they're going side by side now towards the first corner. Got to be careful through here. TY's not going to be able to get around the outside, and no, doesn't. But look at the camber that TY's running in front wheels, how the front wheels are turned in. Obviously the camber relates to how much the wheels are lent in towards the chassis, and that does help with cornering ability, but it will not help when it comes to traction. But I don't think you have to worry about traction in these minis. It's all about the cornering, like they did in the old touring car days when you had the minis taking on the might of the Mustangs and the Ford Galaxies in the touring car days. And the minis have to rely on ultimate cornering speeds to get even a chance to keep up with the big American brutes. But obviously the American cars are a lot heavier and a lot slower around the corners. That's where the Mini makes up its time. Usually about 30 mile an hour faster around the corners than most of the big American cars. TY gets a good run. Trying to go up the inside into this little bit, but he'll be on the outside for the next one. Bidzster just has to sit on the line and defends onto the brakes. Bidzster could run wide here. TY going for the switchback. Has he got enough run to get side by side into the next bit? Well, Bidzster says no, you don't, sunshine. Very close to giving him the hip and shoulder there, but doesn't even bother to do it because he doesn't need to. Just moves across just to defend the line enough, and TY again has to settle for second place with 3 laps to go. So Bidzster just got to hold on for another 3 laps now. Not too long now, Bidzster, but TY, sensing that the opportunity might be falling away from him here, has got to think of something. He's speaking of thinking of something, he's thinking about rallycross, because he's just gone onto the sand straight off. That'll have lost him a good half a second or so, but I'm sure he'll be back with Bidzster soon, because obviously he'll still be within a slight drafting range, but he's just got to get his head down, get back and get that gap back. Meanwhile, Nick Hash and Seat 1 battling out for 5th place a bit further back. Lilliam's catching Jamo as well, so we'll keep an eye on this. Seat 1 closing up to Nick. Just got to be careful through this section, not get a penalty, just keep it nice and smooth. As she's doing, Cyrex closing up in 7th place. That'll probably be a track limit penalty with the dust kicking up there. Task 1 in 8th place, Danny Quaver in 9th, Mr. Slow on 10th. And Rodas and Keith closing up as well, so good little battle back here. Rodas up the inside of Mr. Slow into the first corner. Rodas having a look up the inside, straight through. Mr. Slowan's gone off onto the gravel. No, give too much room. You're only supposed to give a door's width, Mr. Slowan, not an acre. As he goes off rally crossing, but Keith goes up to 11th place now, so Keith gains 1 place out of his quite a miserable race from the start, really. So didn't really get a good start to the race, got stuck behind Footman, who was glitched on the grid because of the Gran Turismo servers. Nothing to do with all our connections are all top notch. It's the game servers making a few cars crash on the line. So I don't know why that happens, but Gran Turismo, please sort it. It's ruining the races for us. Keith up the inside of Rodas into the banked hairpin. Hip and shoulder and everything. Keith not taking no prisoners there. Straight up the inside of Rodas. And Mr. Slowan says, thank you very much, sir. I will take that place as well. So Mr. Slowan gaining out of that. Rodas back down to 12th position now. So Rodas well and truly mugged there. But it was quite fair the way that Keith did it. Just a little tap rubbing his racing at the end of the day. Wasn't enough to take him on track. Just enough to give him a little nudge and then just get through on the inside. So no harm done there really. Just rubbing his racing, and they both continued as Bidzster in the lead now still from TY. Right up his back bumper again. He's caught up that gap. So Bidzster's clearly struggling with tyres at this point of the race. As we go into the complex section, TY trying to run it around the outside. That's not going to work. He's going to go for the switchback. Bidzster parks it on the apex. Says no, you don't. There's not really any way through this last section unless you are absolutely daft. Which none of these two are. They're both sensible racers. They both know each other. They've been racing each other for years and years. They know each other like the back of the hand. They know how each other race. On to the last lap now. TY's last chance to get past Bidzster. There's only going to be a limited number of opportunities. This is one of them that's coming up here into the first corner. Bidzster and TY. That's one corner done. No way through for TY there. Next one is out of it to get a good run out of this corner into the little complex. I don't think there's going to be any way through there either. As we go through, Bidzster on the inside, TY on the outside, trying to go for a switchback. Bidzster parks it on the apex, no way through. Another opportunity is this bank corner, and if not this bank corner, into the corner at the end of the straight. If you can't get past by then, it'll probably be over for TY. Couple of more opportunities. Bidzster, again, another one ticked off into that last banked hairpin. Coming down the straight now. Just have a quick look back at Jamo in third place, Liliam, then we've got the rest of them just there, but we'll have a look at that in a bit as Bidzster comes down to this last opportunity to defend. Straight to the inside will go Bidzster. Defends for his life, runs a bit wide though. TY having a look around the outside. He's not going to try and carry the speed around the outside, surely. He's going to have a look. Oh no, Bidzster's got it though. Don't run wide on this last corner though, Bidzster. I shall leave the door open. And he's not. He's done it. Bidzster wins the first race at Willow Springs of round 3. Congratulations to Bidzster. TY a well-deserved second. Jamo in third place, kept out of trouble in that one. Lilian fourth. Nick Hash is just going to keep Sarex at bay, but Seek's going to look at the inside. So Nick Hash from Seek won and then Sarex, as they had to get rid of penalties on the line. So Seek won, then Sarex. Task won there in 8th place. Danny Quaver's going to finish in 9th. Keith is going to be in 10th position. But then we've got to keep a look at this because Rodas and Mr. Slow One are still battling it out. Let's have a look on board. There's Mr. Slow One as we go look backwards into that last section. For some reason the replay going a bit funny there with the noise, but at least we can still see the cars. Rodas goes onto the gravel as Mr. Slow One goes towards the last corner as well. This is going to be a close finish, but I think Rodas is just about going to get it. Yeah, Rodas just about gets it from Mr. Slow One. Good job there by them two. So we'll go back. Okay guys, let's take you through the results then. So Bidzster was your winner in that one from 2/10 of a second, but from TY in second place. Then it was Jamo in third, Liliam fourth, Nick Hash in 5th place, Seek One in 6th, Sarex in 7th, Task One 8th position, Danny Quaver 9th, Keith 10th, Rodas 11th, and Mr. Slow One rounding out the 12. TY with your fastest lap with a 1:22.537 for that extra point. So we'll go back to the winner. There is your winner, Bidzster, and we'll see you next time. Take care.